Like so many great ideas and works of art before it, the Hope in History mural on A. Philip Randolph started with a spark of an idea. It was a spark that came to Dr. Rudy Jameson while behind the wheel.
It's June 2017, and I'm traveling north across the Hart Bridge. And if you've been across the Hart Bridge, once you start descending, if you look to your right, there are these murals on these huge silos. So I'm looking at the murals and I'm thinking, wow. So I made 3 calls. My first call was to Rodney Hurst. My second call was to my partner, Chris Jansen, in the center. And my third call was to the members of the Eastside Brotherhood to see whether they would be amenable to having a mural placed on the building. And then we started the work. We started recruiting the students. So we recruited 25 plus students from all around Jacksonville. So the students actually participated in not only the curriculum and instruction, but the installation of the mural as well.
Dr. Chris Jansen explained that the process included so much more than just painting a wall.
The actual construction of the mural, I think, took about 4 months. So, really they started meeting and conceptualizing it, working with the community to make sure they captured the story in a way that would have the power that it really should. And then the actual physical construction of this really took place over the entire summer of 2018. So it was a wonderful thing to see it coming along. And then having dialogue with people who came by, curious about what these images were, because as many know, this story, as powerful as it is not well known. It's not as known as well as it should be.
It seems fitting that high school students would be involved in the mural's construction.
In 1960, a group of mostly high school students led an effort to desegregate the lunch counters downtown. Nationwide, most of those protests were comprised of college students, but here, it was high school students whose political imaginations have been enlivened by their 8th grade social studies teacher, Rutledge Pearson.
And Rutledge Pearson is on the mural.
On the very, very front of the mural. So we believe that he's the exemplar for what an outstanding teacher does. An outstanding teacher not only transforms lives in the classroom, but can transform communities to make them more equitable and just. And that's what Rutledge Pearson did.
Rodney Hurst was there.
First name is Rodney, R-O-D-N-E-Y. Middle initial L, last name Hurst, H-U-R-S-T.
Can you tell me who that young man is right there?
That was me at age 16. I was president of the Youth Council, NAACP, and was one of 3 leaders of the sit-in demonstrations at Woolworth, Grants, in fact, all of the downtown department stores. That was August 13th, 1960. We sat in for 2 weeks, and even though these stores invited us in, black shoppers, to spend our money, they only wanted us to spend money where they wanted us to spend money. We felt that was degrading and insulting, and that's the reason why we demonstrated, and why we demonstrated at lunch counters, because lunch counters were visible vestiges of racism and segregation that we could dramatize our opposition to racism and segregation.
What happened on this fateful day that was different than the other times you did sit-ins in the previous week?
Yeah, well, on this particular day here, the 13th, they closed the lunch counter. Read a statement, closed the lunch counter. 2 weeks later, as we sat in at Grants on the corner of Adams and Main Street, as we came out of Grants, we were attacked by 200 whites with axe handles and baseball bats running down Adams Street toward Main Street. We didn't sit in to eat a sandwich and to drink a beverage. We sat in because these stores were insulting to black shoppers. So the title of my book, It Was Never About a Hot Dog and a Coke, simply means that it was never about eating a hot dog and drinking a Coke. It was about our human dignity and respect and fighting against racism and segregation.
You see, it was never about a hot dog and a Coke. And that's the message behind Hope in History, the mural that you, News4JAX viewers, voted Jack's Best Public Art.
This is the plaque that goes along with the honor of being voted Jack's Best Public Artwork by viewers of Channel 4. There was no set list of nominees. We asked people to make suggestions and then vote, and this is the result. So
thank you much.
Thank you for creating this for Jacksonville.
Absolutely.
We're humbled. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Jacksonville, Florida, for voting the Hope in History mural Jacksonville's best public art.